A while ago, I analyzed the case of Terry Bevers, a 45-year-old woman who was found passed away outside of a Texas church on April 18, 2016. This creepy CCTV video shows the man responsible for her demise. He is carrying around a hammer and apparently knows Terry teaches a fitness instruction class here. He is caught on camera walking around looking for her, but is never caught in real life. In other words, never identified. The reason why I'm revisiting this case is because it has still not been solved, and more weird things have emerged. This white vehicle was caught on CCTV security video driving around the church parking lot on the same morning that Terry Bevers was found. There is no real reason for them to turn off the road here at 1:58 in the morning. They slowly creep around the lot at a consistently slow pace like they are watching out for something. A minute passes and then they flash the headlights one time and then put the high beams on. They do this as they pass by the entrance, almost like a signal to someone who could have been waiting inside. They slowly do a full circle and then park facing the entrance. They turn the headlights off and wait. Nobody gets out of the car and nobody exits or enters the building. 3 minutes later, they turn the car on and leave. The fact that this happened hours before Terry was found outside of this building strikes me as too much of a coincidence. Nobody has been able to identify the plates of this mystery car for further questioning. Each time they just barely avoid showing the numbers, almost like they've been planning this for a while and know exactly where to drive, exactly how far away from the cameras to stay. Two friends have a scary encounter in the woods, not with a creature or a ghost, but rather their own lack of foresight. They have some work to do, but have some trouble starting up a chainsaw that's needed to get it done. One of them calls their father back at camp.
Bring him down here and I'll see what I can start for you.
Oh, no, I'll keep trying before I'm going to walk down there and back up.
Okay.
All right, love you.
They keep trying for a while, and I don't really see anything he's doing wrong, but you tell me why it won't start. Anyway, that's when they get an idea that I can't believe they actually follow through with.
Here, I'll hold this part right here. You crank that.
As they struggled to turn it on, the tip of the chainsaw brushes against his pants multiple times. Don't forget the friend dressed in white could also lose his balance and get pulled forward into the chainsaw. All it would take is one wrong step. If anything like this happens, you'll remember through the conversation with their dad that they are out in the middle of nowhere and have a journey back to camp, and they would have to get to a hospital from there. They would probably have trouble carrying their friend all the way back before he passes out and sadly doesn't wake up. Fortunately, they figure out a much simpler way that makes what they were doing look all the more insane.
Hold that like that.
I'm glad they figured it out, but also amazed that no one, not even the person who caught it on camera, thought what they were doing could have a scary end. Evan and Luke are taking a vacation in Kenya when they see some hippos who look less than thrilled to be caught on camera. One of the hippos goes underwater and their tour guide knows they're in trouble. It backs off with a snort, but soon its temper takes over once more, and it comes lunging out of the water. They have to rev the engine hard to get away, and thankfully there is no mechanical breakdown, because these animals have been known to flip small boats easily. And after analyzing this video, I don't think I'm going anywhere near a hippo, let alone being in a boat near them. This must have been a super terrifying situation for these guys. A group of neighborhood kids from Algeria decide to rush the local haunted house, reasoning that the ghost inside can't get them all. Someone tell me what's going on here. I think they might be nervous and start to pray.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أعوذ بالله بكلمات وش ديك؟ اصبر 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 وراها.
Their words seem to have successfully riled up something as they gather excitedly to see what's behind this wall.
اصبر اصبر اصبر. شوف وش كاين هي، راه كاين حاجه من ربي. جاب لي ربي قشتو بيه.
You'll never believe the weird things they've caught on tape.
وش كاين هي؟
This still image taken at 3 minutes and 56 seconds shows at best the outline of a shadow figure watching them as they leave. This is some of the best paranormal evidence caught on tape that I've seen in a while. The mysterious figure is standing directly under a window and yet is still covered in darkness. Amritesh Malan has caught what he calls a mysterious creature on camera in India. It looks like a regular person, but they think it's a humanoid creature with its upper torso twisted all the way around. It sits with its legs pointed away while simultaneously looking at them, and look at its weird unnaturally long arm. I question if this video is real because at 14 seconds, the alleged creature kinda bumps into something and there's a cut in the video because he has to stop. A bottle of cleaning solution is far from scary until it moves across the counter on its own. The clerk has his back turned, so it's not him. It never moves when he's looking. He can sense something strange, but when he turns around, the object stops. He probably has the bottle out because he wiped the counter down. If the surface is still wet, then that could be why the object is sliding towards him. But if that were the reason, then why would it stop moving every time he turns around? That part seems more like a ghost is messing with him. So is our freaked out friend in India really working front desk at a haunted office building? Based on the weird things caught on CCTV, I really think the evidence presents a strong case for the paranormal. Shand Ali Jat is a ghost hunting fashion model with a YouTube channel based out of Pakistan. Look what happens moments after he is caught on camera getting chills. A low-flying bat distracts them long enough to turn their back to a boarded-up window. Something bangs on this barricade from the other side. They stand in the center of the room more than an arm's length away from everything in sight. The ghost always seems to wait until their back is turned before it throws open a door or a window.
और यहाँ पर आपने बदबू चेक की? कितनी है बदबू? ओए चल भी अल्लाह अकबर अल्लाह अकबर ओ यार ये तो ताबीज़ नहीं थे जान भाई.
They put a scroll in front of the fireplace, and the evil spirit sets the parchment on fire out of disapproval. The way it goes out is just as unnatural as the way it begins. None of them did anything to cause this that I can see. It's as if it spontaneously combusted. As they examine the door, this YouTuber is thrown into the wall by a paranormal force. It doesn't look like he jumped into the wall either. His head is up and his arms are down as if he's being held by the neck. As he lays gasping on the ground, one of their cameras captures the fireplace silently roaring back to life, like it's feeding off of their fear. Meanwhile, this final ghost sighting is caught on tape in the far corner of the room. It might be edited, but based on all of the other creepy paranormal evidence, I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. Saulo Brenner claims to have caught a ghost on camera at an abandoned cemetery somewhere in Brazil. Across the street is a shadow figure caught moving on tape. It looks pretty decent until you zoom in and see the ghost sighting is most likely a blur effect or a camera glitch. The date and time look messed up too, further evidence that the CCTV video has been edited and not paranormal. Iljin Pudding of the South Korean YouTube channel Ghost Horror Diary has a creepy video with an important message. Iljin wants to prove that ghost hunting is not a men's-only activity and that she can be just as brave. She goes exploring an abandoned building all by herself, a haunted place where paranormal energy pours forth from the entrance. Now, this lone ghost hunter starts to catch some very interesting things on video.
여잔데?
Next, she captures this. A scary smiling ghost face makes her recoil in horror.
항상 찍히면 문에서 많이 찍히더라고. 근데 오늘 안 찍히는 게 없나 봐. 뛰다닌다고? 야, 일로 와봐. 뭐야? 씨부려.
She presses on down a hidden hallway teeming with paranormal energy, and at the top of some stairs is a really weird painting that she zooms in on. Something about this place, the painting, the room, feels haunted.
뭐야 이게 이상한데요?
No more than this, she says, and walks back down. I would like to know more about this painting if anybody happens to recognize it, or anything about the scene it's portraying. It looks like somebody in knight's armor is raising a shield in the air at a podium with someone kneeling behind them, but that's all I can tell. Oh, and there's one more thing that's scary. On the floor of another room is a handwritten sign with this message that freaks her out. Who left it here and what does it say?
아니 이거 한글 맞아요?
Dark Mystic is the name of a paranormal YouTuber in Russia who intends on exploring an abandoned cottage home in the middle of some pretty scary woods late at night. He wants to determine what kind of paranormal entities haunt this abandoned building, and he's certain he's caught creepy things on camera. He finds a room with half the walls covered in newspaper clippings. They look to have been carefully cut out and are not overlapping, which to me means they were meant to be read instead of part of a remodeling project or something like that. If you speak Russian, what do these headlines say? I can't help but suspect this is a trophy room and someone is proud of making the news.
Кто здесь?
He hears somebody cough, but nothing is there. It's creepy, but the paranormal activity really picks up when he goes exploring the haunted attic.
Купил на это. Нет, я же там был. Не знаю, что такое может быть.
He keeps hearing objects getting thrown around, dropped, or otherwise moving on their own. And when Dark Mystic goes to check what they are, something moves into the doorway as if rolled into place by a ghostly hand. Dark Mystic is certain that something paranormal is toying with him and arms himself. He may be right, but I'm not sure what use a blunt force instrument would be on something not of this world. A being made of shadows that peeks at him from around the door. A Saudi Arabian ghost hunter, known as Explorer Abdullah Al-Anzi, goes investigating a haunted mansion that has been abandoned for a long time. Strange paranormal activity begins in the courtyard.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق.
Decades of decay have worn this place into little more than roomfuls of rubble that he is determined to explore. As he is wondering how many floors this building has, he realizes he is far from alone.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
He's exploring the basement when he hears something in a commanding voice. If you know what was said, then fill us in too.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. ها؟ سمعتك مين أنت؟
He isn't sure where it's coming from, so he looks all around. Right before Abdullah turns around, something strange is caught on camera looking at him at 16 minutes and 23 seconds. A spirit or a creature with a single glowing eye. The voice is never heard again, so he thinks it's a jinn. Based on the paranormal evidence he's caught on camera, I think he's probably correct. Ihab Al-Qasimiyah of a ghost hunting channel called The Horror is looking for a phantom figure said to haunt this building in Israel. A ghost who is apparently quite eager to be caught on camera.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
He keeps hearing a sink drip even though no water is coming from the faucet because no water runs to the building.
بسم الله. بسم الله.
The ghost hunter also detects small movements in windowless rooms that are devoid of all life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
That's when something inside of him says that trouble is near, that he needs to check out the window. A mysterious and shadowy figure is caught on camera, an apparition capable of powerful acts. Based on what happens next, the ghost hunter knows he's been marked by the jinn, but there is no time to get out of the way as the spirit seemingly teleports inside.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات.
The featureless shadow figure peers around the corner and the brave ghost hunter gives chase. When he rounds the corner, all traces of the paranormal entity are gone. If this is not paranormal, then I wonder how the ghost was able to disappear within seconds. There are no editing cuts that I can see. A YouTuber on Long Island, New York, started a channel called My Haunted Diary because his rental house is filled with paranormal activity. The tenant before him passed away, and now he is left with some weird things caught on tape for us to analyze. Tell me if you heard the ghost moan or not.
Did you see some shadow? Freaking me out. Did you hear that? It was like a freaking moaning voice right around here.
The more he listens, the more scary noises he seems to hear.
I'm kind of nervous right now. I'm creeped out. I'm not going to pretend. It's pretty creepy. I don't know how much more I can take it up here. I'm freaking out.
Whatever is in here with him seems to sense he is scared and feeds off his fear. I know sometimes houses can make creaking noises, but this part is probably the best paranormal evidence ever caught by him.
Just coming to visit you again, so I don't know if you're around. But I've come back.
The timing of such a clear response indicates that he is in fact having an interaction with someone rather than his imagination. Freaky, right? Delphi's paranormal channel is all about summoning spirits with Ouija boards and other scary stuff, so it should come as no surprise when her house becomes haunted. She wakes up to a wall of home security system alerts, 2 of which occurred right before 3 a.m. Somebody's been trying the back door. The house feels spooky at this hour, so she decides to make a video about it.
Can you stand behind me? What is that black thing?
She turns around only to find it still there.
I don't want to agitate it, but it's like it's trying to show itself when I get mad.
A shadow figure in the corner, or so she thinks. I must be losing my mind because I can see it too. Doubting its existence only makes the ghost more upset as she's about to find out.
Maybe it wasn't the ghost. Maybe somebody tried to break in. Maybe somebody ran out of supply. Duh. That. What the?
She runs into a well-lit room but can't resist one last look. Someone tell me what is sitting on the couch when she goes out to calm down her dog.
What are you looking at?
This might be a full-blown shadow figure apparition, head and all. This man named Abdullah knows of a haunted lab where past experiments gone wrong have created just the right circumstances for a scary exploration video. Some scary symbols give Abdullah a bad feeling about going any further. A strange eye with the number 8 inside, a creepy figure with horns, no face and long, sharp fingers next to a pentagram. I wonder what that's all about. They walk past the symbols and into a dark corner that swallows their flashlight with ease. The next room is the scariest place of all for reasons that they can sense, but cannot put into words. Later, when they review the video and see what's been caught on tape, their fears are explained.
وين هو؟ سمعت صوت رجل تمشي. طب منه؟ أرنب، مو أرنب، مو حيوان.
An unknown object floats towards them. I don't know if it's an apparition, a ghost orb, or just a scared bird, but neither do they, and that's what makes it so creepy. Considering that they did just see that weird warning of a monster on the wall, and they're exploring an abandoned lab where experiments have gone wrong, I think this could have been something worth running away from. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, I've got a challenge for you. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. A Saudi Arabian ghost hunter known only as Hai claims to have caught a real jinn on camera while exploring an abandoned house that he knows is haunted. I can't tell if this is a gap in the curtains or a ghost in the window. He presses onwards and reaches the second floor before things get beyond creepy.
في أحد؟
Something paranormal is making movements.
بسم الله.
And staying one step ahead of the paranormal explorer at all times.
بسم الله بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
The excited ghost hunter runs from room to room trying to keep up, praying for strength all the while.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
As the ghost apparently runs into a tall cabinet, I can't help but wonder if it's just as afraid as he is.
بسم الله.
Cornered and with nowhere to go, the spirit finally has to rely on its supernatural defenses to get out of there quickly.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Scary noises are heard all around, doors shutting, cabinets opening, and soon a strange and bizarre paranormal mist floods the room. It's hard to say if this was real paranormal activity or dust kicked up from him throwing objects everywhere, but I think it's probably real and most certainly is creepy.